Hi and welcome to this going to be a long video of 100 awesome business ideas. I'm the editor at WP Demand, where we bring business ideas and WordPress together to help people launch their ideas as a side project, as a full-time business, and at the end of the day make more money. Now in 2013 I wrote a blog post called 100 awesome business ideas for 2014. And within 3 days, this got over 55,000 hits to the website. And I received so many emails from people from around the world, literally from everywhere, asking for advice, just giving feedback and praise. So I thought this year, what I'm going to do is combine 100 awesome business ideas with my WordPress blog. And you can check out the other video that I've got, where I've got another 100 awesome business ideas for 2015. I'm going to run through all 100 in this video, and I'm just going to give you a few starting points. I'm thinking about breaking them out into individual videos and putting these on the channel, so watch out for those. But also visit wpdemand.com to make sure you stay up to date with all of these ideas, because I share 10 ideas every week as well via my email newsletter, and you can register for that on the website wpdemand.com. So without further ado, I'm going to jump straight into this. Okay, so the first idea that I've had is for bamboo eyewear. Now, when I featured this in 2013, it was just eyewear that I had. But since then, I can see bamboo jewelry, bamboo watches. There's just so many of the things that have been manufactured in the last 18 months out of bamboo that now people are paying a lot of money for. Now, I've got the bamboo glasses that you can see here, and I've also got the bamboo watch which I got bought as a gift. And everybody asks, where do you get that watch from? So I think this is a fantastic opportunity. So how do you get started? Well, the first thing is start researching suppliers. Go to Alibaba.com, which is a great website for bringing you together with suppliers from around the world, mostly in China. And maybe make a list of 5 that have got good feedback on the site. So it's a bit like eBay, where you can check the feedback of the suppliers, and get samples. So get 5 samples from 5 different suppliers. You will have to pay for the shipping for samples, so be prepared to pay anything from $50 to $100 for those. But the products you should be able to haggle for free. Come up with a good brand name. If you Google bamboo sunglasses or bamboo watch, you'll see some really good names that have been coming up. Obviously, get a website launch, whether you launch with a WordPress shop, which you can do in a couple of hours, or you just want to put a landing page up, do it straight away. And obviously, social media is going to be really, really important here. So things like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook are going to be key for you to get your images and videos out there. But start today. That's not obviously an exhausted list, but that's just an idea of how to get started. So you can come up easily. You could find the suppliers today. You could come up with a brand name. You could get the domain name registered at least. Maybe get your hosting set up, and obviously we help you with that as well at wpdemand.com. If you need help getting a website sorted, we can help you out absolutely free of charge for that. So make sure you take advantage of that. Moving on, idea number 2, rock your CV. Now, I think this is a fantastic idea, but what do I mean by it? Well, there are loads and loads of people who are out of work right now, and they've all got a boring Word CV that's probably been their standard CV now for 5-10 years. But you've got to stand out from the crowd now. You've got to sell yourself. So why not get a unique looking CV like some of these guys have got here? Now, imagine there's a job that you're going for, and it's paying $100,000 a year, and on the recruiter's desk lands 10 Word CVs that are boring, and then one of these lands on their desk. I think they're going to look at this one most. So a CV is to get you in the door, and then you do the rest. So these are all template CVs that you can purchase. But what I'm saying is, as an idea, is you start a service called Rock Your CV, or whatever you want to call it. That's just a name that I come up with. And for a fixed price, you offer to brand people's CVs. So they sign up to your website, they pay a fee, I don't know, $50, $99. They send you their boring CV. They pick a template, and you can buy a template from a website called Graphic River. You can see there, they've got over 1,700, I think, CVs that I put in. So maybe you just go and get 5 of those designs, and then offer to clients that they can pick one of those. You can recruit a designer via Odesk as well if you don't want to actually do these. These are all easy to what's the word I'm looking for? Easy to sort of edit these templates. But again, if you don't want to do that, if you want to streamline the business, then go to Odesk, hire somebody on a couple of dollars a job, and then just outsource this job to them. And all you do is take the money and send the people their good CVs. And again, some stuff you can do today. You can come up with a great name. You can register your social media sites. You can recruit a designer and start looking at their feedback and some of the work they've done. You can go and pick 5 to 10 templates, and you can also start looking on your local Craigslist and Gumtree and try and find your first customers. But do something. Start something today. Idea number 3. So the name Gradfolio is the name that I've given for this. But imagine a student this year, or next year, should I say, that's going to be going to university. As soon as they get into university, they would register on this website called Gradfolio. And what they would do is they'd create a profile. It's a bit like a Facebook profile. And what they'd do is they'd put what they're studying on, and it's a place for them to put their projects on. So, for example, I'll use an example that I read about this week. A student in America has been doing loads of drone projects. So all of the companies, including Amazon and some of the courier companies, are now trying to get this guy in as an intern, but he's got another 2 years to do yet in university. So what we're trying to do is give the big companies that use interns the chance to interface with students way before they are ready to join as an intern. So what the companies can do is say to the students, I know you're studying this, but we are also looking for people that know stuff about artificial intelligence or drones or whatever it is. And the students can then tailor their learning towards that. So there's no question of an interview when you're an intern then. You literally got a job lined up. And you could even go as far to negotiate that the company that takes you on as an intern, because they'll be begging for you to join their company then, that they pay off your student loan. I don't know. That's just a crazy idea that I've got. So how would this work? Well, I think firstly you need to get a landing page to catch email addresses of both students and potential firms. Maybe you look at the top 100 firms that recruit interns. You could easily get that through Google. Start connecting with these year 1 students now, or students that are going to be going next year. These are going to be your currency. These are going to be your assets for this business, if you like. Research top 100 brands who use interns. I've just mentioned that. Start building a prospect list and start getting verified email addresses of HR people that deal with interns at these big companies. So this is going to be an ongoing task, but this is what you can do while you're building up this database of students. And naturally set up social media channels. So this will become a bit like, it will become a platform. It won't be a social media type thing, but it'll be a platform that simply connects brands with potential and prospective interns, but way before they're ready, so the brands can influence the interns and what they learn. So instead of leaving university and then look at an internship and thinking, if I knew this 2 years ago, I could be better prepared. Idea number 4, 50 ways to grow your restaurant business. So people say, I've got no idea to start, I want to start a business, I've got no idea, or I want to earn some money, but I've got no idea how to do this. Well, this is something simple you can do. Every restaurant needs more business. Even if they are fully booked on a Friday and Saturday night, brilliant. What about Sunday? What about Monday, which is the worst day for restaurants? So what I'm simply saying is, you build a database of 100 restaurant chains in your country. You research online for 50 ways to increase restaurant trade. There are lots and lots of case studies out there, but pull them all together in a little booklet with actionable steps. And then what you do is you approach these restaurants and you sell them. So if they've got 100 restaurants in their chain, they buy 100 copies of this book, or maybe it's an online course or whatever it is. But each manager of that restaurant will receive this 50 ways to increase restaurant trade, and maybe you can offer remote assistance as well to help these managers increase trade. So all we're doing is we're taking knowledge that's freely out there, but we're putting it together in one place, and we are then exclusively selling this to a restaurant chain. And, this is probably not a huge business, but it's definitely a side project for you to get started and earn some money. Idea number 5, virtual data rooms. What the hell is this? This really is quite a niche product, but if you think of a company that wants to acquire another company, so a company wants to buy another company, they would go to their legal people, and while the trade is about to happen, in the old days, they used to come together in a room, a secure room, or a room at the bank, or a room at one of the lawyer's offices, where all the information would be securely kept around a table and thrash it out. But with today's technology, you can have a secure virtual data room where people can put files in. As you can see here, they've got annual reports or whatever it's going to be to do with that special deal or that case. So this is really aimed at legal firms, and at the moment there's definitely a niche for mergers and acquisitions, so legal people that help companies buy and sell businesses. So this really is, it's a bit techie, but don't be scared, because you can either resell existing companies' virtual data room solutions, or you can hire somebody to get started. So hit Google first. There's loads of articles out there on VDRs. Become a reseller or host your own. And don't forget to go niche. I talked about mergers and acquisitions and legal. And if you're really going to push this, then get your domain, get your website up, and maybe design a playbook. And if you don't know what a playbook is, it's a 5-page PDF document that basically says who you are, what you have to offer, and some testimonials and a call to action. And if you want an example of a playbook, then drop me an email at wpdemand.com. There's a contact page there, and I'll send you an example of that. But start today. Do something, please. Okay, idea number 6, virtual cleaning empire. Wow, this sounds exciting. So everybody's doing this at the moment. You've got G-Maids, which are the guys in the green, and there's a great interview on Mixergy of those. Mop is I think it's a UK base, but they're now expanding everywhere, and they're literally an online website where a homeowner can hire a cleaner, and all the transactions and everything's taken care of, as opposed to having an old cleaner turn up and you doing a cash deal with them. And it's just incredible. And I know a lot of friends that are using these services. There's so much more services out there. But if you want more information, go to Mixergy and put G-Maids in, and there's an interview there, an in-depth interview, how 2 cleaners started this in America. So don't become cleaners. You are literally starting a platform that connects with homeowners with dirty houses and cleaners. And it's a recurring revenue business that you run. And there's also a great treat here. So go to Reddit and research Maids in Black, because there's a guy that watched the Mixergy interview, was so inspired that he basically set up his own cleaning business following what G-Maids did. But he details it in Reddit in, I think, a 30-day plan, and within 4 months he'd replaced his salary. So he was he was working in an office environment, and within 4 months he'd replaced his income, and he's doing some incredible stuff now. So do all the research. There's loads of stuff to get you started with this idea. It's a fantastic idea, and you don't need hardly anything to start this. And again, come up with a business idea name, register your domain name, and your website, and then start advertising. But do something today. Idea number 7, Homestager. So this is a fantastic idea that I think it's big in America, but it's not in the UK. So there's a lot of people that are trying to sell their houses, and they're either empty or just ugly. And what Homestager will do, they'll either come in on behalf of an estate agent, or the actual homeowner will pay, and they'll come in and either bring their own furniture, or help people hire furniture, or reshape the furniture that they've got, so you have a before and after, and it helps. And there's a lot of stats out there, actually, that you can see a photo there, before and after, that having a staged house, will increase the how quickly and the chances of it selling. So there's loads and loads of before and after pictures out there. If you're creative, this is a great business for you. Things you can do today: you can launch a website, start building a list of suppliers. So maybe rental firms, maybe there's charity furniture stores that could use their existing furniture to rent out and make more money. Build a playbook and send it to every estate agent in your region and offer free advice. So you know, maybe go in and offer them advice on what you do to a house. In the UK at the moment, an estate agent comes around, they take photos, and then they stick it on all the major websites that anyone could do, and they get 1% when it sells. So it's still a massive area, especially in the UK, that needs doing. And then once you've got your first case study, you're away. You can then charge for every single one of these. Idea number 8, English teaching for Chinese students. Now, I watched the documentary on this guy, and this guy is an English teacher in China, and he makes an absolute fortune. You can tell by his car and his personal reg plate in teaching Chinese students extra tuition, for their exams. And it just made me think. There's actually a BBC documentary of this guy, and it just made me think. With students today in the US, in Australia, in England, that speak good English, why can't they connect with Chinese students over Skype or whatever platform you want to use? And the US students earn money to pay off their student loans while they're in university and college, and the Chinese learn the English that they so desperately need. So you help each other out in doing that. But the real money, I think, is going to be for the person that connects these people. The person that will own the platform in between. It just makes so much sense now with technology that these people don't have to go to these classes. I just think it's not been done correctly, but I think there's a massive opportunity for it to be done. You know, get a landing page up, start capturing emails of US, UK, Australian students. Research what the courses would be. Maybe just keep it simple. What are the top 5 courses that this guy Richard here in China runs? And again, start looking at some ways that you could advertise in China. But start today. Idea number 9, entrepreneur course for kids. Now, my daughter is 3.5, and she goes to Spanish lessons, piano lessons. She goes to ballet. She goes to dance. She goes to gymnastics. There's 2 others that I can't even remember that she goes to. But if there was a good entrepreneur course out there for kids, she would be definitely on that as well. Now, there's a website called GreenSat that a guy in America runs, and he charges $1,000 an hour to run Skype tutoring with American kids. It's crazy. He also runs some online courses, but makes a lot of money. And I just think using what he's done in the same way, but building some business-related courses. Now, I'm not talking lemonade stand. We need to get away from that now. We need to think about digital. You know, kids should be able to put a website up now and, you know, maybe run an affiliate business or whatever it is. I know there's legal constraints in some countries, but there's got to be something technical that kids can be doing now. So, how do you get started with this idea? Well, create a landing page so you can at least start building a list of parents that are interested. Design 3 basic courses that last 30 minutes per week. Maybe one on WordPress, one on sales and marketing, and another on a service that they could do, social media service, a review service, maybe kids reviewing kids apps for mobile app entrepreneurs. I don't know, something. Build your social media channels and start giving away some free tips and courses and content. Maybe reach out to parents in this advertising and say, where's your kid going to be in 10 years from today? Maybe you use the likes of Zuckerberg to say, do you want your kid to be the next Zuckerberg? And start writing the course modules. If you don't know how to write the course modules, go to Odesk or Elance and hire somebody to help you. But start today. Do something. And these sort of businesses, you don't just throw them together and make money. You start working on them. It might take you 3 months to get it to where it's going. But by that time, you've got an email list of prospective people. You've got maybe your first course. And you've got some people that are asking questions about it already. In the same vein, technology course for kids. So we are in such, we're in the age where technology is advancing so much. That picture of the fingertip there with that little chip on is an RFID chip. What's RFID? Exactly. If you buy clothes from Marks and Spencer's, you will have RFID chips in the clothes. I'm not going to cover that here, but my point being is wearable technology, and we're just getting so advanced that I think it'll be good for kids to take extra tuition outside of school to learn about this stuff. So again, create a landing page so you can start collecting emails of parents. Design 3 basic courses that are 30 minutes per week. So maybe you start off with tech then and now. So technology 10 years ago and what we're doing today. Maybe the future technology. And then maybe you run an A to Z of technology that covers everything from, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. Then you might look at wearable technology. Maybe you look at, Bitcoin. I don't know, anything that's technical that kids need to know about. We get that in the courses there. Again, start building your social media channels and start writing the course modules. But start today and do something. This idea comes from me and my wife. We have regular date nights, and at the moment it only extends really to going to the cinema, grabbing a takeaway, but it's important time that I think is a big part of marriage and successful marriages. But one thing that we struggle with is to find a weekend break where it's just for couples. And the reason that is, I'll be honest, I love weekend spas. So I love going to get pampered, and I love the saunas and the gyms and the quiet and the good food and just relaxing. But there's a lot of hen parties that are going on these weekends, and actually it disrupts the weekends. But if it was a place just for couples where we would just be with other couples, but you're all doing your own thing, it's just a better ambience, I think, for the weekend. I think this will be a very popular service. So if this is for you, this will be a great idea for maybe a couple to start. Get a website up and a landing page. Start grabbing emails. Start your research. Start asking couples where they would go, where they'd want to go, and what would they pay and what would they want to do while they were there, and get them signed up. Start contacting venues and say, look, I've got couples willing to spend money at venues like yours, but we want to create a couples weekend. So maybe that venue runs a couples weekend once every 8 weeks. I don't know, but you need to be the platform for that. So start connecting with these venues. They'll be open to meeting people like you that are going to bring more business their way. Start building your social media channels. People think this is boring, but it's very important, and social media takes time. Start today. Do something. If you need any help, go to wpdemand.com. At the moment, I'm offering help with installing WordPress. You can hire me. You can get logos. You can get hosting. You can get a free domain name through WP Demand. So that's a shameless plug that I'm doing there. But visit the website. Even drop me an email. I respond to all emails. And definitely connect with me on Twitter. Twitter.com/WP Demand. Okay, we're at idea 12 already. MOOC. So this is a massive online open course. That's what MOOC stands for. And they've been going crazy in the last couple of years. But one of them that's not been done is a sales training MOOC. Now, everybody's scared of sales. Everybody sucks at sales. Sales training is expensive. Sales training is outdated. So why not put it online as a MOOC? And maybe you make money via adverts, advertising, sponsorship, or you just charge people to use your actual platform. So there's loads and loads of information on MOOCs, so you can go and research those now. But if you're the first in sales, there's loads of free sales information out there that you could just put all together. So you could hire somebody from Odesk to put this together for you. So get a website up, maybe start with a landing page first. Come up with 30 lessons to begin with. Maybe you get content from the web and you just plagiarize it a little bit, or you hire somebody from Odesk or Elance as a writer and a researcher to build this for you. Get one of your top courses, put it on YouTube for free, and point all of your users to your MOOC. and again, start building out your social media channels, and then decide how you're going to make your money on that. But again, you need to get started today if you're going to do this. Idea 13, craft beer feedback service. If you're on Netflix, go to Netflix and just put in craft beer. If there's still, hopefully the films are still on there, but there's been sort of 3 or 4 awesome documentaries on craft beer businesses from like 2 guys with like $100 who are now making close to $1 million from like 3 or 4 of their craft beers. It is crazy. It's crazy in the UK, it's crazy in the States, and Dan Norris of WPCurve.com has even got in on this and has launched his own called Black Hops, and it's great branding. Go and check that out. I'm not going to go through the whole the stats on the beer industry. It is huge and it is growing, and people now are realizing mass-produced lager over craft beer, it just isn't going to cut it much longer. So how do you get in on this? What's the idea? The idea really is to build a website that connects craft beer drinkers with craft beer makers. It's as simple as that. So, for example, we get 1,000 people that love craft beer. We then go and find 100 craft beer makers. I put 30 there. I've gone a bit crazy. Maybe 30 craft beer makers. And they're able then, using our platform, to reach out to these beer lovers, and maybe they can give feedback on a new brand, a new name, a taste, a promotion. Maybe we can do pop-up parties and have these guys come along. But these then become the brand sort of advocates and influencers. That's the word I was looking for, online. At the moment, craft beer makers are just 2 guys in a shed. They have no market reach. They've got no experience. And there's just a huge, huge market for that. And, they're not going to use a traditional PR company. So why not bring beer lovers together with beer makers? Get a website up, a landing page, start recruiting beer lovers. Make an advert that says, do you love beer? If so, give us your email list, your email address. Beer testers wanted. That would be an awesome advert on social media. Approach 3 beer makers, craft beer makers. Maybe go for local ones to you. And design a test list with the makers and the drinkers, and kick it off and see where you get to. And maybe the beer makers pay you a monthly fee of $49 to be a part of the platform. I think this is an awesome idea. Idea 14, food lessons by local restaurants. There's a restaurant a restaurant chain in the UK called Miller and Carter, and they're a steakhouse, and they do fantastic dishes, and it's great atmosphere. And me and my wife go there once a month without fail. And we were saying, because of the kitchen they have there, you can just sort of get a peek into the kitchen there. Wouldn't it be awesome to go in and cook your own meal, that your favourite dish that we have, with the chef, and then eat it? And then my wife said that would be a great birthday present. So this idea really is an online platform that connects the restaurants in your country with either a gift card company or people just come in your website and buy a gift card from you, where they can go along to their favourite restaurant. They can team up with a chef for an hour, and from raw ingredients make their favourite dish, and then they go and eat it. So it's a premium sort of service, but imagine that. So, to get started, again, there's a bit of a pattern here now, but get a website up, get that landing page at least, and start building your email list. Build a hit list of 30 to 50 restaurant chains in your country or region. Make contact with them and enroll them on your platform. Tell them this is what we want to do. And then you just cross-promote then to get launched. So maybe the restaurants can use their social media channels to say, this is what we're doing now, and they point everybody to your website. Now, obviously, it's a premium service because these restaurants have got to put time aside for people to come in. Maybe they do it as a morning or an early afternoon thing. Maybe they don't do it in an evening. But if the price is right, why not? It's a great revenue stream. Maybe the restaurants do it on a Monday and Tuesday where it's their quietest period. I don't know. You need to speak to the restaurants to make this work. But if you do launch it, my wife would be very interested in that. Idea 15, corporate lunch. So for years and years and years, we have had customers come to offices and companies that I've worked at, and we just buy them a plain, boring lunch, which often looks like this: sausage rolls, quiche, pork pie, some horrible blueberry cupcakes that don't contain blueberry, some pretzels or potato chips, some tiny damp egg and cress sandwiches, and some cold chicken meat on sticks. And if you're vegetarian or vegan, then good luck, because you'll just get salad on bread. Because people just don't, it just needs changing. So I had an idea where you would launch a website again, and you would come up with a set menu. And then what you'd do is partner up with catering firms throughout the country who would replicate that dish. And very quickly, you would change the face of the corporate buffet. So this is quite an easy idea. Get a website set up, again, with the either an email capture service, or maybe just launch it with an order-taking facility. Maybe you find a chef first to come up with a great menu idea. Then find caterers throughout your country. So maybe you can offer this service nationwide all of a sudden by just teaming up with a caterer in every city and town. At first off, send them a playbook with your details of what you're trying to do, and maybe a sample menu, and then work out commissions, how much you're going to make. But your website would then be an automatic order taking machine where you just take commission, and all of the local catering companies then fulfill their orders. This is, I think, very much in need in the UK. Idea 16: press release service. So again, a lot of people launching new businesses, but not a lot of people know how to reach out to journalists and the right type of media to get some free coverage. Now, there are a number of free press release facilities out there that then try and upsell as well. And in the old days, a lot of the web would pick up these free press releases, but it's just been spammed so much now that a lot of people don't go anywhere. So you've actually got to pay and invest money to actually get your press release taken seriously and put out there. But one of the problems is, I think there's in an article I saw recently, over 100 free press release services, which is crazy. And there are a load of genuine websites like Hacker News and Reddit and Beta List and Stumble Upon, and there's loads and loads more that people don't use and they forget, which are the right way these days, with social media, to get some free press for your new product or service or startup. So this idea really is a press release service. You pay once and you get everything. So come up with a good brand name. Get your website up where people can place an order for maybe $49, $99. Build a distribution list and service plan. And there's some great people on Odesk that have already done this. They've got their own software that does this. They're good and legal services, and you can check them out. Maybe you can also offer a journalist research option. So what I've always done is I've gone to Google News. I've put in whatever the product or service that I'm offering. I look at other news stories of similar products and the competition. I've looked up the journalists who's wrote about that, and then I've sent them a really nice note to say, saw you wrote a great piece on this, just to let you know, here's some more information or research on this if you ever wanted to do a follow-up article. And by the way, I've just launched this service in this sector as well, and more than happy to speak to you about it. And not every time, but most times journalists come back and say, thanks for the info, I'm going to use that, and I'll reference your business, or can we talk about your business a bit more? So maybe that's a service you can offer in there as well. And, to get started, make a list of every new business that launches this month. Head over to betalist.com. There's loads of new businesses that are launching this month on there. Just reach out to them and say, do you fancy having a go? I'll give you 10%, 20% off, and give it a shot. But definitely work with people offshore, because they can do this for you as a service. You probably won't have the time to do this. And then all you've got to do is focus on getting people to the website, taking their money, placing their orders, and seeing them through. And don't forget to set up Google Alerts as well, so you can track what gets covered by your press release service. Idea 17, security analytics. A while back, I went to a conference where a guy spoke for 2 hours on the future of security analytics. And actually, since I wrote this blog post over a year ago now, I'm seeing more and more use for this. And here's why. More and more people are getting hacked. Only this week, Sony were hacked when they were going to release the film about the North Korean assassination film. And it's just common news, but there's a lot of software out there that blocks hackers. But really, with big data now, people want to know who's tried to hack, where they came from, what vulnerabilities we've got. It's about bringing all of the data around security analytics together in a platform to say, the last month, this is what happened. These are the threats, the weaknesses. This is what nearly happened. This is what did happen. This is why. Threats change all the time with weaknesses, with viruses and new products and everything else. So security analytics, I think, is going to be big. So why is it a good idea? Well, not a lot of people know how to do it. So if you could team up with somebody that knows about this, this isn't something really you go and learn and then offer. It's about teaming up with somebody. And again, Odesk and Elance, there are graduates in computer science that are willing to work with you on offering a service. So maybe they start off doing a review. Maybe if a company's got data, they can look at the data and put together a report, and you sell that back to them for $1,000. I don't know. I don't really know the business model here, but there's definitely something there. Build a landing page. Find a supplier. We've talked about that. Build a service and offer a free review. So once you've found somebody on Odesk or Elance to work with, ask them, what do you think is a good service? And they'll come up with some ideas. Build a prospect list and verify their email of the decision maker. Now, don't go hacking into their, the ethical hacker. I've hacked your website for $500. I'll fix it. It's a bit naughty. But offer the service. If the guy offshore can hack, is an ethical hacker, then offer that service. Maybe as a freebie. But again, start today and do something. Idea 18, online shoes. There's always going to be a market for shoes. But I think now there's going to be a niche market for shoes. So my wife said to me when we went on holiday this year, I need new shoes for holiday because we do a lot of walking, but she wants to look good. She don't want to wear trainers. She wants to look good and comfortable. So maybe there's a shoe shop online that you could come up with that sells comfortable, smart-looking shoes for people that go on holiday. I don't know. This is the sort of niche you need to come up with. Maybe you sell only red shoes or sparkly shoes, or you run an online shoe shop for young girls. I don't know what it is, but you need to come up with a niche there. Alibaba is a great resource for shoes, and I've read of 2 case studies on there where people have taken a product. I think it was for a flat-soled shoe that you could roll up, and girls who go out on the night can wear high heels and keep these they're called flats, I think, in their handbag, and then when they're drunk at midnight, they can put the flats on to walk home instead of taking their shoes off and walking home barefooted, where they could step on glass or anything like that. And they went from an idea to, I think, 3 million and then sold the business. And I think the case studies on Alibaba. But go onto Alibaba, look at shoes, and look at the designs and the ideas, and come up with a unique idea to be different. Build a website with a shopping cart. You don't need a lot of money to do this. WordPress has some great themes with shopping cart integration, or there's a plethora of other shops that you can buy. You don't need to be technical or an expert in setting that up. And again, social media is going to be very, very big here. But if you love shoes, this is a great idea still for you to start. Idea 19, kids charm bead. Now, this is the loom craze, and this is a fantastic rags to riches story. Not so much rags, but this guy literally only had a few $1,000, and he was a test engineer for a car firm in America, and saw his daughters playing with rubber bands, and came up with the idea. There he is, and he's now worth $80 million, which is crazy. But I'm not saying copy his idea, but what I'm trying to say is that kids, my daughter loves playing on the iPad, but equally she loves playing with Lego stuff, and she loves loom bands, and she loves dolls, and stuff that's just, always been around. So have a think, come up with something, the next big thing, the next craze, and follow the steps like this guy did. You know, he sourced and come up with all this stuff from China. So come up with an idea. And one idea that my daughter played with was she used to put her hair in a braided hair piece, and she put a different icon there. My wife's idea with the different icon, different things, friends understand what they mean. So you could write a secret message all day. I don't know, something like that. Go on Alibaba and try and find the next big thing. Website security check. So we talked about security analytics, but this is really website check. Now, WordPress, everybody uses WordPress, and I use WordPress. I didn't know it's quite easy to hack, and there's even a plugin out there that basically will hide the fact that your website is a WordPress website, because it's so easy to hack. So this idea really is teaming up with an ethical hacker, which means they're doing it for the good reasons of trying to find holes in your website and then fixing those holes and making your website safe. Now, I know because I've used them before, Odesk have hundreds of these guys, and they are accredited as well. So they're an accredited ethical hacker, which means they're certified to do what they're doing. And if you team up with these guys, you could visit every website of a company in your town and ask them, do you want a free website review? Maybe you could point them to a recent hacker article, maybe not as big as Sony, but something like that, and say this could happen to your business. If you want, we'll do a free ethical review of your website, and we'll give you a report. And obviously, at the end of the report is a price to fix all of these issues. Now, who wouldn't do that when a website's earning you money? So again, build a website, come up with a good domain name. Odesk has been, I've put Odesk or Elance, they're actually owned by the same people. I've used Odesk more than Elance, so I keep saying Odesk, and I did use Odesk, and I recruited a great guy based in India who was an ethical hacker, and was great at writing the reports. They were in great English, and also layman's terms for somebody like me. And then build a prospect list, start offering free security checks on their website, and then upsell the work to fix the threats, and obviously put your margin on. I think this is a great idea. Idea 21, estate agent and real estate intelligence. So there was a company called, see if I've got it on here, I think it was called Visi Home, that was acquired recently in the UK. But what this company did is it monitored the price of every house sale in the UK and built up a back database of all this data. And when an estate agent could look at somebody's house, so if I'm selling my house and I email the estate agent, before he comes round, he can build a report based on the price of my house since the 80s, or maybe since it was built, which is incredible. Because if 3 estate agents turn up and one of them pulls out his iPad and says, here's a report on the pricing of your house, here's the pricing of all your neighbours' houses and what they sold, and what they're selling at right now, and all of this information, I'm going to go with that estate agent, even if he charges a little bit more. So estate agent intelligence, I think, is big is big data. I hate that term, but it's big data. But also put this data out there for everyone to see. I know there's some websites that are doing this now, but I'm talking globally here. Maybe you specialise also in different property. I don't know, but approach estate agents. Ask them, what data do you want that will make your job easier and better? What data do you want? Maybe they want data on catchment area versus what schools you go in, because you go to a school in the UK depending on what catchment area you're in, and people move to catchment areas to get good schools and good placements. So maybe you issue data on that as well. So when an estate agent comes to my house to help me sell it, he says, I see you got kids. Where are you looking to move to? I can give you some tips on what school catchment areas. Now, I know that data's out there, but it's about pulling the data together in one easy report. Again, build a website. Maybe get a pitch deck together. You talk to estate agents or realtors in the States and ask them what they want. And find a partner on Odesk to start building a database. They could do some web scraping, which is pulling data off various websites, putting it into one source for you. and then launch it. But start something today on this idea. Idea 22: crowdsource fitness. So, for example, my wife runs on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday without fail. She does it the same time each day, and she does it the same route. And recently, a lot of her friends have asked, "Can we come along with you?" So, what my wife has suddenly become is a running instructor. And I just said to her, that would be good if you could make money doing that. So what you do is you would build a website that would connect people that run and do yoga and weights and whatever it is in the town with people that want to learn to do that. And they can buddy up with these people, and for a fee, maybe they pay £10 a session, and you get, maybe the trainer gets £9 and you get £1 per transaction, or come up with some other sort of business structure. But essentially that's what it will do. It's a platform. It's a hyper-local platform, so it connects people in your town, runners with people that want to run, yoga people that want to connect with people that want to learn how to do yoga, and so on. And again, the money's in the platform. So build a landing page, start collecting emails, concentrate on a local area first, so you can connect with both users and trainers, and maybe take part or coordinate the first few events that are possibly for free. And again, maybe you run a free class once a month in a local park to advertise your service. And obviously, once you start to get revenue coming in, you can knock that on the head, or maybe keep going. Idea 23: land me this job. For some reason, I'm great at getting jobs, and a lot of people, including my brother, always come to me when they're out of work or they want to change a job. And I think this is a great service for somebody that's either been in recruitment or HR, or anybody that's just good at getting jobs, I guess, really. But so this service will work like this. I'm out of work. There's a company that I know is advertising for a job that I can do, but a lot of people are going to go for it. Maybe it's paying 200 grand a year. So I will come to this website with this coach, and I will pay a fortune. I'll pay her $5,000 to help me get this job. She will research the company and the job. She will then coach you on the interview, questions, process. She'll help you get your CV done. Maybe she'll do a CV check for you, where she'll get 5 different people to review your CV and come back, and then you put all the CV back together again. Maybe there's some areas you're not confident in, you're rusty on. Maybe you are that nervous that you need some confidence building, some mock interview tests, whatever it is. But this person will help you land that job. Now, you can't guarantee that you're going to help them land that job, and that's very clear up front. However, I think a lot of people would pay for this service. Essentially, that's the service. So how do you get started? Well, firstly, you build a website. You get a payment link set up. Maybe you do an introduction video about who you are, what you can do, and your experiences. And you have a service page where you detail everything you will offer. Maybe you can then target journalists who are writing about job hunting, the job market, CVs, life hacker articles, Inc.com articles, all of these sort of things. And then go and find your first customer. And maybe you work, for $5,000 per customer. Maybe that's a week fee. Maybe you spend a week with these people over Skype. I don't know, but I think this is a niche service. But if you can live on $5,000 a month and you only get one person a month to start off with, then that's a good start, right? Idea 24: lessons recorded. So my wife's a teaching assistant. Their school has only just put in these digital whiteboards where all the class can see, video, an interactive pie chart if they're doing maths. But what's weird is all of the kids in my wife's school turn up to the lesson. They don't know anything about the lesson, so they can't read up on anything. All they can do is turn up and listen. And then once the lesson's ended, that's it. If they've not remembered or made, really good notes, they've missed it. So my idea is quite simple. It's called Lessons Recorded. And what we will do is we will sell audio and visual solutions to schools where every lesson that goes on is recorded via voice and video, is then uploaded immediately to a secure hosted solution where students can access it and they can play that lesson back. Maybe they're struggling to do their homework. Maybe they didn't get it and they can go home that night with their parents and play and watch it back and learn more. But more than that, the teachers can pre-schedule the lesson topic and can include things like links to YouTube videos, free lessons that are on things like free online courses that are on MOOCs, for example, and even links to Wikipedia, so they can learn about the people or the topic of the lesson. So when they get to the lesson, and not every student will do this, but most students would have already read and know and understand the background so that they can learn more in the lesson, and then after the lesson, they have the beauty of going to watch that lesson again. And you could even go further. Under that lesson on the hosted solution, the students could ask further questions, and the teachers could log in maybe once a week and answer those questions. So it becomes like a Quora type environment as well. I think this is a awesome idea. It probably wouldn't be a cheap idea. It would probably need some investment. But if you could find one school and get started, I think if you built a website and got an explainer video started, start capturing emails of parents, get parents behind this to back you, research the right technical solution, and maybe you offer a hosted rental service. So instead of selling schools the equipment, they just pay for the hosted solution per student. So you make recurring revenue every month. Now, if you're not technical but you love this idea, find a technical co-founder, or go to Odesk and find somebody technical that can help you design the service. Go to Alibaba, look what equipment you can get to build this, and maybe you build a mock solution in your garage. Then maybe find a school or a charity that has a classroom and do a free trial. And then find a school that will take this at cost for a free trial, and then go and get investors. I was really disappointed that nobody launched this last year, but it's one of these big ideas that scares a lot of people, but this is where people are going to make millions. And if you do decide to start this idea, please get in touch with me, because I would love to support you in this and be a part of it. A shareholder. Okay. We're at idea 25. I'm going to break after this and then launch a new video for the next 25 and so on. So this one's called Educate Me On... So this is a service where it's a bit of a research service. So imagine I am a parent and I quickly need bringing up to speed on, let's say, algebra, because I've always sucked at algebra and now my son is struggling with algebra. And I quickly need to just get the basics and my head around it in lunch hour before I sit down with my child. What this research person will do is go away and pull together free resources like videos, maybe a video from Khan Academy on algebra, maybe a Wikipedia snippet, all these pieces of information, and they put it together for you in a quick lesson plan. And you pay them for that. So that's one example. Here's another example. I'm a salesman. I'm going to visit a customer short notice tomorrow, and I quickly need to know the background of the CEO. I need to know all the companies he's worked at. I need to know the history of the company. I need to know what their turnover's been. I need to know their latest news from their social media channels. Basically, I need to know everything about them. So when I turn up there tomorrow, I can impress them with my knowledge about them. Again, the researcher would pull all that together for you and deliver it in a way that you can quickly sit down and read it. So this is a research business, but a great one for somebody that wants to work from home. Build a website with the ability to have requests posted and take money. Develop your social media channels. Build a journalist target list. Maybe journalists have written about similar topics and they would love to feature your service in this. Offer the chance for journalists to post a task for a free review so they can test out your service. But I think this is a great way. A lot of people online say I'm a researcher, but what does that mean? But this way you're saying it's a fixed fee. $99, you want research on a customer, $99 will do it in 24 hours. That's what people want to have. But again, get started with this. Come up with a great domain name. Visit wpdemand.com. From there, you can get hosting through Bluehost, our partner. You can get a free domain name. I can help you with your website install. We can also get you linked up with somebody to get you a good logo and absolutely everything else you need. So that's the first 25 ideas of 100 awesome business ideas for 2014. And thanks for listening.